Hey, I'm Nico from Licks of the Beast, and in this video I'm gonna give you my top 10 riffs by my favorite band, Iron Maiden. Limiting this list to just 10 riffs for a band that's put out 17 studio albums over 40 plus years is no easy task. So to help me narrow it down, I decided I would base it on 3 parameters. Number 1, I couldn't pick more than 1 song per album. Number 2, I had to include songs from all eras of the band. And number 3, I had to really love playing the riff, especially on its own. So with that in mind, here are my top 10 riffs by Iron Maiden. At number 10, a riff written by Dave Murray, and it's from the second single off of Dance of Death. It goes like this. Number 9 is a riff that to me is synonymous with Iron Maiden regaining their rightful place at the top of the metal mountain with the return of Bruce and Adrian. This is the riff that opened the album and the tour for Brave New World. It goes like this. This next riff has so much swagger and attitude. You can tell it was written by a young band who were intent on melting people's faces. It's simple, but it won't sound right unless you really nail the groove. At number 7, a crushing riff with a fantastic groove from the first single off of one of my favorite Iron Maiden albums, A Matter of Life and Death. Number 6, a riff that really stands out from the rest with a rather unique sound. And that's because the strings are being plucked instead of picked, and it creates this rhythmic sound almost like a fast delay or maybe a rotary speaker. This one was written by Janick and is from the second single off the 1995 album, The X Factor. It goes something like this. And we're at the halfway mark with riff number 5. I hesitated a bit about whether or not to include this one because it's almost too obvious. But then I thought that just means it must be on the list. Almost every classic metal band has their own version of this riff, but this one I feel truly stands out among all of them, perhaps due to Adrian's aggressive attack on the original version. And it's interesting that since returning to the band in 1999, Adrian has changed the way he plays this one. The way he plays it now has a little more swing and groove as he uses downstrokes on the A pedal and then upstrokes on the dyads. He also doesn't play the pull-off on the tail all the time. And I really like this new version a lot, and it's almost always the first thing I play to check my sound when I plug in a guitar. Coming in at number 4, a sinister sounding riff that encompasses the very essence of Iron Maiden. The first time I heard this riff, I thought it was the greatest thing I'd ever heard in my life up until that point. It was so different from anything else, and it still is really. From Iron Maiden's self-titled debut album, this mean riff goes like this. Riff number 3 of this top 10 has a real bigness to it. The juxtaposition of the tight palm-muted notes, staccato chords, and open chords just makes it sound so huge, like it was meant to be played in arenas. And yet, it's not a song that gets played live very often. At number 2, a riff that is pure classic metal awesomeness. The opener to 1983's Peace of Mind album, and a song that still absolutely kills live. Before getting to number 1, I have a few honorable mentions. These are riffs that I thought about including, but didn't because I wanted to limit it to a top 10 list, and I wanted to stick to the parameters that I had set from the beginning. So here they are in no particular order. The number 1 riff on this list is one that I could just play over and over again on a loop. It's got a really great groove and a deliberate pace, and this is a song that I really wish they'd bring back to their live set because it's so great. Adrian Smith says he came up with the idea for this riff when he was on his way back from the dentist and was in a lot of pain. I mean, God bless you, Adrian, you're an international treasure. So here it is, my number 1 Maiden riff of all time. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you'd like to see more top 10 lists on this channel, let me know in the comments. Please don't forget to leave a like and do consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you all so much for watching and stay tuned for more licks of the beast.